Cancer, 2025 for you is a grounding year. This is a year where whether you are trying to find a home or you know you need to move, even if you're traveling, there's something about like getting your systems right so that you can feel at home anywhere. And this is really important for Cancerians. We carry our home like on our back, like our shell is our home. But this is where you'll be able to feel safe to be intimate, safe to be yourself, safe to be vulnerable, safe to grow spiritually, mentally, emotionally, but to also grow financially. It's really going to help you make money. And this could be like a never-ending story. It could have been something that you have had a lot of fear around, even sadness around, especially if you needed to leave a certain home. And you just feel like the next thing isn't as good, and then the next thing you're like, I don't know where to next, and you just feel very unsettled, very ungrounded at the moment. You're leaving all that behind in 2025, and you're leaving behind the need to be so overly cautious about everything you do with the home. I was only thinking this morning how many times I've been robbed in my life, and how that has affected the way I live. And as I've been saying in a couple of other videos, the background's different. I'm in a temporary living situation, and that feels scary for heavy cancers like myself. And so you might be feeling like you've developed these patterns or habits that other people would think are weird, but it's just you trying your best to continue life as normal because, and someone said to me recently, they said, Sam, oh my goodness, you're moving. Like, do you know that that is considered one of life's most challenging, disruptive experiences? And they said it's up there with, this is their words, but I'm sure a lot of you would relate. So I'm not discounting anyone else's stuff, okay? They said it's up there with giving birth. It's up there with dealing with grief. It really is. Oh, my whole body is just like, yeah, I feel like a shedding is going on here. And this might come with quite a lot of tears early in the year, where these tears are going to be watering that growth. And these tears are going to be, I guess, washing away the caution sign that you had on the front door. And my throat chakra just completely closed. There has to be a change in the wind here, and there has to be a change in the way you see, okay, well, what does a home mean to me? And I just looked up at the wall where I've written, I've called this temporary living situation the sanctuary, and I said where life transforms. And I get the feeling that there's this shadowy aspect to this, which is actually part of your advice. The qualities I dislike in others are disowned parts of my shadow. And so and that could be like the qualities I dislike in other living arrangements. It's like some people won't understand why you have to change this situation up, and why. And again, I say that your body is your home as well. And why you have to shed certain things within your body as well. Maybe you're selling every single thing you own. Maybe you are completely changing up your wardrobe. Maybe you are completely cutting out a certain food group. And I'm no health professional by any means, but if that's what you feel like you need to do, and if you are perhaps judging someone else for the way they live, and again, this is a tough pill to swallow. If you are judging other people because they're judging you on, you've done this move, and everyone's like, oh, how'd the move go? Everything good? Yep, cool. And to them, they never think about it again, right? And it's up there with having children and grief. The same thing kind of happens. You lose someone in your life, there's a period where people kind of are either really there for you, or they go silent as like, we're just giving you space. But then they see you in a month's time, and they're like, oh, you're good, like you're over it, kind of thing. And this is that. It's like there's a grief, there's a sadness around letting go of a lot of things and trying to find comfort, trying to rebuild, in a sense, trying to find roots. like, where do I put my roots down? I have such strong roots. I have such a desire to be rooted so that I can stop feeling like I'm in limbo and actually really commit to making this money that I know I need to make, to really commit to then taking the risks I know I can take when I feel safe somewhere. And that's going to really affect your mental, even the way you communicate, or the way you're available, and the way you're present with others. And at the moment you might be a little bit short with people because you're so focused on this one thing that you know is going to cement everything else, that is going to nurture everything else. And that's what we need, Cancers, is we need this nurturing. And overall, the nurturing is going to come from you. It's going to come from, not always though, I do feel like there's something, and they're not showing me what this is. There is this kind of like speeding through a storm, like a absolute downpour of rain, which happened the other day. And then there was a car accident that I had to help on the side of the road because you can't see in front of you, so you have to slow down. And you don't like this slowing down of your growth. And it's changing. 2025, your growth will speed up. But for right now, because I feel like a lot of you are in it, the rain is coming down and the wipers are going mad and you can only see so far in front of you. That nurturing is coming from self, but I do feel like huge heart chakra explosion as I said that. I do feel like someone is coming in to hold you as well. When you least expect it, it feels like commitment with unconditional love. It's like my favorite two aces is Ace of Pentacles and Ace of Cups. And the Hierophant is showing up here, and the soulmate energy twice. Right when you're on the edge, the precipice of change, but you're changing because you're changing the way you look at things. You're changing your mind about them. And getting comfy with being a little bit uncomfy is going to help you. I do strongly feel like if you start the year in a temporary situation, whether that's work, whether that's love in a situationship, or whether that's like actually your living arrangement, I feel like by the end of the year, there's multiple investments. Okay. I feel like you will have a home and then you'll be looking at buying a home. You might have a rental and then be looking at buying something. You might have bought one place and then you're looking at another. You might have finally found somewhere to rest your head. They just said carefully. Interesting. So where you feel cared for is how that kind of comes across to me. And then a relationship that's solid and committed comes in, where someone's like, well, we can have you live here. And when I said carefully, like, I'm really feeling like sleep is a spiritual practice for you. So if you haven't kept a dream journal, and the moon really does talk about things like that. I'm also seeing 12th house energy strongly in this reading, of letting those fears and the hidden fears and hidden desires kind of bubble to the surface through sleep. You have a certain set of conditions that you want to live by, and that you can function fully around, where your emotions feel really safe, where you might want to raise a family and you can't even think about anything else until that is kind of sorted. But I do feel like there's someone or something coming in. Anything else about this? And someone who wants to work with you and change things for you. There is an element of coming to take most of the burden off your hands. Interesting. Which some of you, I was going to say some of you might not believe that, but it feels like magic. And this person is intensely, deeply in love with you. And if that's already a relationship that you're in, this might be family, because you've got a lot of family cards here as well. You've been waiting a long time for this, but care for yourself. Get this situation sorted and everything else changes. You won't have to wait too long. this is serendipitous and it's beautiful. I'm so happy for us.